guys, it's Lynn with Littlefoot Nursery. I'm here today with another chat video, and I'm here with baby Emily. She is the Saskia Sculpt by Bonnie Brown. And I wanted to talk about the subject of copyrights in the doll community. And it's such a, it is such a dicey topic, you guys. The latest thing, there are a couple incidents that came up recently that I wanted to touch on. So the most recent one is Laura Lee Eagles has a new kit coming out called the Gertie Sculpt. And there are some collectors, and I've seen this on a couple forums, I think both on the Bountiful Baby forum as well as Dollfan, as well as in different Facebook groups. Some people have been commenting that sculpt looks a lot like Saskia by Bonnie Brown. Because I guess that there is one leg that's like straight, one that's bent, and I think that one of the fingers is pointing up like this, and then it is an open-eyed baby, and the mouth is kind of open as well. But so I will say, and it's basically it's become this whole thing, and poor Laura Lee Eagles has been really attacked in some of these Facebook forums and message boards and whatnot. And I think that some people think that she kind of copied Bonnie Brown, or that she was really inspired by Bonnie Brown, or that they just but a lot of people are having issue with it. And it's just interesting because when I saw the Gertie Sculpt, I did not think they looked really that similar. I feel like Saskia has a very distinctive look, and this expression is very distinctive. And yes, Gertie also has an open mouth, but I feel like the face shape, the expression, everything looks completely different to me. So I did not even draw that connection at all. And when I saw the baby, I think she's a cute sculpt. She's unique in her own right. And frankly, you guys, Laura Lee Eagles is such a well-known and reputable artist. She does not need to, she doesn't need to copy anyone. Her works of art, her sculpts are beautiful. So I just wanted to hop on and just say that I think that it's kind of gone on long enough. And, I think there's some that just have I think it's fine, in a forum, to sort of just ask, oh, does it look like there's some resemblance? I think it's fine, because there's so many kits that resemble each other at the end of the day. It's not just these two kits. And I think that's not a copyright issue, but it is something that I guess became this kind of hot discussion topic. The other, oh, and I forgot to say, I am going to change Emily while I chat. I actually want to change her into this really cute footless romper. It's has a deer on it, and it's pink and white stripes. This actually belongs to Maggie, my silicone baby Maggie, but I want to try it on Emily because, she and Maggie wear the same size, and I have so many 0 to 3 month size babies, so that's something that's really nice. One of my dolly friends messaged me today asking if our silicones and reborns can share clothes, and the answer is definitely yes. I feel very comfortable allowing them to share clothes. I wasn't at first, but then I had posed the question on on the doll forum, and everybody said it was okay and that theirs share all the time. So yeah, and then somebody else even messaged me that it's okay for your silicone and reborn to touch as well. So yeah, I thought I would just share that with you guys. Okay, so the other situation that came up was with Levi by Bonnie Brown. So Levi, as you guys know from one of my past videos, they're going to be producing Levi in a small silicone cloth body edition. And Christy Sohn Carwithen, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She goes by Chris C in the doll community, with Chris with a K. She is the one who has obtained the rights from Bonnie Brown to actually mold, kind of pour this baby in silicone, pour Levi in silicone, and then actually paint Levi in silicone as well. Oh my gosh, I love this on Emily. I am envious of this sort of really peaches and cream sort of painting style. And man, I wish Mary Anderson would paint some more dolls. She's a mom, full-time mom, and I know that her doll hobby is very much a hobby for her. So I haven't seen any dolls. She only sells on eBay, and I haven't seen any dolls listed by her for sale, in like a year, basically around like the time frame I bought Saskia. And man, I really wish I had aggressively bid a little higher to try to get her Levi. She painted a really cute Levi too. So I just feel like Saskia and Levi are just two of my favorite sculpts. I could absolutely order multiple babies of. And I was very tempted to bid on the Saskia by Cheza Reborns, or not Cheza. I think it's Chenza. It's either Chenza or Cheza, and I so apologize for not knowing offhand. But she painted a boy Saskia with blonde hair, and oh my gosh, that was a gorgeous baby. Wow. But it went very high, so I did not bid. And it was but it required so much self-control for me to like just to walk away and just say, okay, I'm not going to bid. So like, I'm going to get her a lovey. She can hug. This is the sheepy. She's going to be shared in the nursery. It's like Lampy. But so anyway, yeah, so it's okay. So the situation that happened with Levi is there was another artist out there, and she's like a reborn artist, and I don't even know her name, but she decided to pour herself a Levi in silicone just to keep for herself, and she wasn't going to sell him or anything like that, but she's like, this is just for me, and I'm just going to keep it for myself. And she shared this with a number of people. And oh my gosh, people were so outraged because she did not have the rights from Bonnie Brown to produce Levi in silicone. And but she was like, well, it's only for myself. But I think the reason everyone was upset, and Bonnie and Chris were both upset, is basically by pouring a Levi for yourself. Like, she could have been a potential customer for one of Chris's silicones that she poured and painted, but then by doing one for herself, she was kind of devaluing the kind of more official Levi silicone edition, if that makes sense. And there was a huge outrage about this all over Facebook. And I had also talked to another collector. I know of another collector who is also planning to do the same thing for herself, just to make one for her own collection. And she has not been shy about sharing this with other people too. And my advice to her was just like, well, it is a copyright violation, and you probably should keep it on the down low. And she doesn't see anything wrong with it, and I don't think the person who made the Levi saw anything wrong with it as well. And like, I don't think I feel like I definitely am not like, how do I put this? Like, I don't think it's right to copy, to pour the Levi in silicone when you weren't authorized to do so. But if you do end up doing it and you do it in your own home, it's sort of like, it's also not right to copy CDs. And back, you guys remember, okay, I'm gonna totally date myself, but back when we used to make like cassette tape mixes, am I the only one who remembers doing this? Like back in like junior high school and high school, when we would make like these cassette tape mixes, yes, we were totally copying from like the original album. But I think the argument we all made to probably justify it to ourselves was like, well, I purchased the original album and it's only for my own personal use. It's not like I'm making this mix and then trying to sell it and profit off of it. And so so I do kind of see their point in that regard, but I also see the artist's point, and I definitely understand why Chris and Bonnie would be upset about it. Absolutely. So, and this also goes to the whole situation with the Ivita's silicones and Baby Klon. These are Ivita are the Chinese, they're the company in China that makes silicone, they're kind of cheap full body silicone dolls, but a lot of the sculpts that they use have been stolen sculpts from you know, other artists' kits, and they did not have the rights to make those dolls in silicone. And you know, I bought a couple before I knew about all of that, and I didn't recognize the kits, and I wasn't really like that deeply into the hobby, and so I just didn't know. And I think, but there are a lot of folks who do buy them, and you know, they do know. And look, I'm not going to judge anyone, because it's so hard when the silicone babies cost, just because I do have a couple, and you know, I don't think they're that bad for the money. Although I will say that they, you know, they do really look more like a blank kit. It's not very detailed. So so that's just something everyone should know. But yeah, it is so hard when I know and the reason this happens is because the silicone dolls are so expensive, and you know, I guess you could also argue that some people who would buy a copy or make a copy for themselves, they just might not be in the target market. They might not be the consumer that can afford to pay full price for like an artist silicone. So, you know, you're not really losing the business anyway. But it's still not right. Like, it doesn't sit right with me about the copyright issue. So for that reason, ever since I learned that, I did make one video just to talk about Ivita silicone dolls. But I don't really promote them, and I don't encourage people to buy those dolls, knowing what I know now. But it's tricky, and it's so hard, because it's made, like, I explained to Audrey that they were copies, and then it really took away her enjoyment of the dolls as well. And then I felt bad. I was like, because she wanted to make all these videos with them. And then I was like, well, we don't really want to make videos of them, because, you know, they're copied, and, you know, I think people will get upset if we show them, and kind of get the wrong idea that I'm trying to promote them. And then Audrey was then sort of like, oh, okay. Well, she's like, well, is this doll copied? Is this one copied? And so she started kind of going through all the dolls in her collection. And I think it did really sort of take away from her enjoyment, because she likes making videos, as you guys know. So I felt kind of bad that I sort of burst her bubble a little bit with the Ivita silicones. But, you know, when, you know, people have messaged me about them, and I do answer their questions, and, you know, and I think everybody just has to make the best decision for themselves. And it's also like, you know, the fake designer handbags. And I will admit, I lived in New York for a few months at one point, and, you know, they're, yeah, it's all over the place, like Canal Street, like, and yeah, I bought a few, I did, and, you know, it's, not something I would do today, but, like, yeah, I mean, I was in my 20s, and I didn't have much money, and, you know, that was all, like, I could afford, and so yeah, that's what I did, and, you know, so I'm not sitting here saying, like, I'm this total saint, I've, like, never bought something that's been copyrighted, but I just wanted to talk about the issue, because it came up once with the, you know, people accusing Lordly Eagles of copying Bonnie Brown by making Gertie so similar to Saskia. And, you know, I don't think those babies look alike. And they're both very distinctive. Gertie's mouth has almost more of a rectangle shape, if that makes sense. It's more like a square shape versus Saskia's. And, yeah, and I just think they're different. The head shape is different. So to me, I didn't see any issue at all with that. And I think it's really hurtful to the artist to be accused of something like that. And, you know, anyway, I don't know if either artist watches YouTube, or if they would, you know, see this video. But I just wanted to pop on and just kind of talk about it a little bit. And so... And I need to do my thing. I realize I don't know if I picked up Emily, so let me pick her up. Oh my gosh, I love this baby. You guys, I just do. She's just incredible. She really is. She's so sweet. So, Mary Anderson, if you're watching this, please make some more dolls. I mean, I love your painting. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you're new, and thank you guys for your continued support, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.